This is a summary of the Mimer on Daf Kuf Ches Amud Beis for Parshas Yisro. The Mimer asked the question, why is it necessary when a person studies Torah to simply enunciate the words? Why can't he just read it and comprehend it? So we went on to describe the different ways in which we push away any opportunity for negative characteristics to steal away godly characteristics. For example, Avram is the concept of chesed, and his son Yishmael stole that chesed and made it into an ungodly form of chesed, of no limitations, of lust. How do we do this? So there's two processes. One is mamata lamaila, through the 7 weeks of sefira, and the other is mamaila lamata, when Hashem reveals his Kesser, his infinity, that completely disperses any opportunity for there to be a stealing away of that level of godliness. And that's why Kabbalas HaTorah came during the time of Rosh Chodesh, or it began the preparation on Rosh Chodesh. As we explained, the moon receives the light from the sun. Now, in the beginning of the month, we barely can see the moon. Why? Because it is, so to speak, busy receiving its light from the sun. And while it is receiving, it can't be giving. And therefore, it's a very intense level. Less evident, Gashmi suggests greater presence of Ruchni. Then, as the month progresses, after 7 days of the month, we can do Kiddush Levana, because it's as if the 7 sefiros have received from that divine light as represented by the sun that is fueling the light of the moon. And then we get to the pinnacle and the midway point, and then it, so to speak, the moon has to go back and get more energy, more divine light from the sun. So in this process, we always have to be cautious. Whenever we're dealing with the sefiros, there's always the opportunity for those sefiros to be hijacked. Again, chesed becomes lust, gevura becomes cruelty, and so on. But once we hit the third day of the week, when we're starting to really get into the preparation for Matan Torah, the Shleishes Yimei Havdalah, the final then 3 more days, it's as if we have now been able to combine Chesed and Gevura, which is exclusively the purview of Kedusha, because Klippa never cooperates. And so it's as if we have completed that full week. So during Sefira, we are working from below to above. When it comes to Shavuos, it's from above to below. And the essential characteristic that is associated with Shavuos is represented in it being a 1-day yontif, unlike Sukkot and Pesach, which are 7-day yontifs. On Sukkot, we have to bring the 70 bulls because we have to worry about the nations that are trying to steal away from the Kedusha. And that's why Torah is called a strength for the Yiddin and a weakening for the nations. Shavuos, which is representative of the expression of Kesser, is only 1 day, because that singularity is such an intense level of godliness that there's no opportunity, because it's not divided up into sefiros, and there's no klipa characteristic of Kesser, so there's no way that there's no vulnerability to it being stolen away, and therefore Shavuos can consists only of 1 day. Now we understand the value of reciting words of Torah. When a person recites as if they're just repeating, there's no way that it can be hijacked. If we say Bereshis bara and we respond Bereshis bara, so we are not inserting ourselves, so there's no opportunity for it to be stolen away. And that's, as the Mimer concludes, as we know that Chazal tell us that the whole world is only sustained because of the sound of the young children who don't understand what they're saying. They simply are experiencing this complete level of bittul where they respond with the words that they are being instructed, the words that they are being taught. They respond in kind. And that quality of response is, in a certain sense, loftier because they don't understand. So if they don't understand, there's no opportunity for it to be hijacked away. And this is why there is a great value in saying the words which have already been said. When we stick to that, we are protected.